What if just a few lines of code could completely change how we make deals and agreements? I mean, everything. Well, that's pretty much the promise of smart contracts. Today, we're going to dive into how they're really reshaping the future of trust itself. So yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, so here's the plan. We're going to start by jumping back in time just to see where contracts even came from. Then, we'll look at the big problems with our current, paper and ink system. After that, we'll finally introduce the star of the show, the smart contract. We'll see how it's built, but also look at the very real risks involved. And to wrap it all up, we'll explore the incredible future this technology is already building.
You might not think about it this way, but contracts are literally everywhere. I mean, every time you buy a coffee, sign a lease, or even just agree to meet up with a friend, that's a contract. They're like this invisible glue holding our whole society together. It's the basic operating system for how we all cooperate and get things done.
And look, this is not some new idea. We've been leveling up our agreement tech for literally thousands of years. I mean, think way back to ancient Mesopotamia, where they were carving deals onto clay tablets. Then you've got Roman law, which built these really formal legal structures. And that brings us all the way to the massive, complex paper documents we're all familiar with today. Every single step was a huge leap, right? A new tool for an increasingly complex world.
But here's the wild part. No matter if it's on clay or on paper, the basic recipe for a contract has pretty much stayed the same for centuries. You need people who are actually allowed to make a deal, you need a super clear offer and acceptance, and you need an exchange of value. Money, goods, services. Lawyers have a fancy term for it, consideration. And of course, the whole thing has to be legal. This is the foundation, the bedrock that all trust is built on.
Okay, so what happens when that bedrock starts to feel a little shaky? Well, that brings us right to the main problem we're talking about today. It's that friction you get when these ancient, paper-based ways of doing things slam into our super-fast digital world.
I mean, if you've ever bought a house or, heck, even just signed a new phone plan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The endless stacks of paper, waiting around for signatures, all the fees for lawyers, banks, notaries. It feels like everyone's getting a cut. You're not just paying with money, you're paying with your time. You're basically outsourcing your trust to this long, slow chain of people. And trying to do this across borders? Oh man, it's a complete logistical nightmare. Okay, so this is exactly where our hero enters the scene, the smart contract. It shows up as a direct solution to all that friction, all those costs and delays we were just talking about. It really is a fundamental upgrade designed for the world we live in now. So what in the world is it, really? Let's just forget all the legal jargon for a second. At its core, a smart contract is just a computer program. That's it. It lives on a blockchain, and it's basically a simple if-then statement, but with teeth. If a certain thing happens, then the contract automatically does something else. The real magic here is that it runs all by itself and enforces its own rules. No middleman needed, at all.
Okay, let's make this real. Imagine you're buying something. First, the rules of the deal, like pay the seller as soon as the package is delivered, are written into code on a blockchain. Step 2, a real-world event happens. Maybe a delivery scanner confirms the package arrived. Step 3, the contract sees that trigger, and boom, it automatically releases the payment to the seller. And finally, the whole thing, the entire transaction, is locked onto the blockchain forever. It becomes a permanent, totally transparent record that anyone can see.
But look, this kind of automation isn't magic, right? It's the result of some seriously careful engineering. So now, let's pull back the curtain and look at the meticulous process of actually building this new kind of digital trust. Yeah, developers don't just write some code and, hope for the best. No way. They follow this incredibly rigorous step-by-step process. They start by testing everything on their own local simulated networks. Once that looks good, they move it to a public testnet, which is kind of like a full-scale dress rehearsal but without any real money on the line. And only after it's passed all those tests, and usually a professional audit, only then does the contract go live on the main blockchain where real value is at stake. And all that caution exists for a very good reason. Because in this world, when code is law and transactions can't be reversed, the stakes are unbelievably high. So yeah, it's time we talked about the risks. $50 million. That's not just a random number. It represents one of the most famous, or maybe infamous, events in the history of blockchain. Back in 2016, a huge project called the DAO had a tiny vulnerability in its smart contract. And that tiny vulnerability was exploited, leading to over $50 million worth of crypto being drained away. It was a massive wake-up call, showing the entire world just how devastating a single bug could be. So what happened?
Well, the specific hack was something called a reentrancy attack. The best way to think about it is like a buggy vending machine. You put your money in, you get your soda. But before the machine can update its internal state to say soda delivered, you manage to hit the button again, and it gives you another one, and another. The attacker's code did basically the same thing. It kept calling the withdraw function over and over again before the first call was even finished, tricking the contract into sending out money it shouldn't have.
Now, the community learned a very hard lesson from that whole fiasco, and it led to a really powerful new security standard. It's a simple rule, but it's brilliant. It's called the checks effects interactions pattern. Here's how it works. First, you check all the conditions. Is this person even allowed to withdraw? Second, you update the internal state, the effects. So you reduce their balance in your records before sending anything. And only then, as the very last step, do you actually interact with the outside and send the funds. That simple change in order slams the door shut on these kinds of attacks.
Developers also got smarter about how they handle payments in general. Instead of having the contract actively push money to an address, which can open up unexpected risks, the safer way is a pull pattern. This means the contract just holds the funds and the recipient has to come and withdraw them. It's a subtle shift, but it puts the control in the right place and seriously reduces the contract's attack surface.
So, okay, with all these new safeguards and best practices in place, the technology has really started to mature. So let's zoom out a bit and look at how smart contracts are already changing the game in the real world and what's coming up next.
Yeah, this is definitely not some niche tech anymore. Smart contracts are the engine powering the entire world of decentralized finance, or DeFi, letting people lend and borrow without needing a bank. They're being used in supply chains to track goods from the factory floor all the way to you. They're the technology behind NFTs, proving who owns digital art or collectibles. They're running whole economies inside video games and the metaverse. And yeah, they're even starting to untangle the complicated mess of buying a house.
And the innovation is just speeding up. We're seeing new solutions that make blockchains way faster and cheaper, which has been a huge bottleneck. We're seeing different blockchains finally starting to communicate with each other, creating this big interconnected web. There's amazing new cryptography like zero-knowledge proofs that are bringing real privacy to these public systems. And at the same time, you've got governments and regulators finally starting to create clear rules, which is bringing a lot more legitimacy to the whole space.
Which brings us to a final, pretty big thought. For all of human history, our agreements have been based on trusting other people, or trusting institutions like banks and governments. Smart contracts kind of flip that script. They ask us to trust open, verifiable code instead. So the question I want to leave you with is this. If our agreements become code, what happens to human trust? What does it even mean to give someone your word in a world that might just be run by code?